Quick how to change your tires basically without using a tire machine or any amount of real tools. In fact, you can even do this on the side of the road if you're really unfortunate. I've actually done it before. So first thing you want to do is remove your valve core. If you don't have a valve core removing tool, you might need one. So you take the valve core out, let the air out of the tire. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And what's wrong with these tires, actually what happened is I got all these sidewall cracks here, and the back one's having tread separation issues that, I knew the tires were pretty badly cracked, so I was going to have to change them. So I went ahead and I was just going to a little meetup, and I noticed before I got out of the yard that I had a pretty good sized lump in the tire. So sometimes just because your tread looks good, your sidewall can be cracked and you can have some issues going on that you didn't even know about. So let's go to the next phase of this. First thing you got to do is you got to break the bead, and something heavy usually helps. I've done this with a car, but with the truck it sure is a whole lot easier if you have a 3/4 ton pickup or a heavy duty truck or something to do this next phase. I'll show you. You can do this with a car too. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm inside the truck right now, and 3/4 ton pickup. It's a lot easier with more weight. I'm going to just drive right over the bead of the tire. See the tire there? You can see it better than I can. Gotta go kind of slow because you're letting there. Oh, there it goes. See, this one went right down. Sometimes you got to do this 5 or 6 times to get the bead broken. But driving over, it's actually easier than just lowering it down on it. I've done that before with the jack. But if you drive over it, the reason I'm doing this myself is because the time I go take the tires down, wait for the guy, and all that stuff, I'm into it in an hour and a half. This usually takes me about 10 minutes to change the tires off the rim. So let's look at the other side real quick. This is almost real time. Be careful, I'm kind of close to my trailer. Oh, this one broke too, real easy. Broke the bead. Sometimes you'll have to drive around the tire, like turn your truck or your car and drive around the tire a few times, put it in a few different positions. Sometimes it takes about 20 times before the bead breaks on an old tire. So anyway, that's how that works out. Sometimes it takes a few runs, but this one actually went real easy. So I'll show you the next phase here in a second. So alright, all you need to basically is I'm using a pry bar and a screwdriver. I mean, 2 bars works the best, but you can almost get it with 1. So then what you do is you step on one side, so it's like that. So you guys can see that. Let me just double check here. Yeah, you step on it to hold, then I'll show you what you're doing in a second. But you want to hold it down to the lower part of the rim. And then you just go ahead and start prying it off like you did a bicycle tire when you were a kid. Maybe you never did a bicycle tire when you were a kid. I don't know. I think this is actually easier. Once you get it peeled a little bit, you only really need 1 bar. So I've done this with just a screwdriver. On the side of the road, on my trailer, I didn't even have the right tools for the right size rim. The rim was right, but the lug nuts weren't right. Only thing is I peeled off the wrong side. I should have done the back side first, because I could possibly scratch my wheel by doing this. So wasn't thinking ahead. But I'm not going to scratch it. I'll do it without it. So I use a mallet for this part because it's a little bit easier. I'm not liking this. A little bit. Should have done the other side because it's going to make me a little bit. It's going to make it a little bit harder. So what you're doing here is you have to hold one side of the bead into this lower part of the rim while you peel off the bead on the other side. That's why the rim has this low spot here. So you can do this. Not sure if I'll be able to get this one without scratching the rim. That's where I'm at right now. I usually do this before I paint the wheels. I just so happened to have a bad tire, so when the tires went bad, I thought they'd last a little while, but it wasn't going to happen. Otherwise, I'd be done already with this if I started on the other side. It's alright, I'm just going to scratch it. It's going to happen. I'm not even going to worry about it. Just touch it up. There you go. So, tire's off. So, yeah, I got a little scratch. I knew I would. So, if you pull it off the other way, then you eliminate that scratching problem that I just did. And, let's see. But you want to put it on, I think, this direction, yeah. So when you put the new tire on the rim, usually I'll throw it like this. Get it started. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do the other way. Put it on this way. Hubcap clips are in the way, though. You're going to scratch your hubcap clips. I just hammer it around like this. You can peel it. Let's look at what I'm doing. See how this part is in the low part of the rim here, and then the other part's working its way into this low part of the rim, this little low part. That's how you do it. And I use a hammer for putting them on. You can peel them on with you can use this too to put them on. You put your screwdriver and just peel it like a bicycle. But it takes about, it takes about 10 minutes, a little bit of work. It's not really to save money for me, it's to save time. I don't want to sit there and wait in a waiting area. Plus they didn't have a balancer for these type of rims. So you just put it on like that. Holding again, you're holding this side into the low part of the wheel, and you're lipping it over the edge all the way around. You can do it with a hammer, or you can do it like that, like I'm doing right here. Usually the second part I do by hand. Try and do small chunks. Too big of a chunk will get you a problem. You'll tear up the tire. Just kind of push it into the groove as you go. There you go. Now, once you get the tire on the rim, the hard part's usually airing it. So getting the air in it can be a little tricky, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So stay tuned for this part. Sometimes This is how you do this, okay? Here's how you want to get it to air. So, okay, your valve core is on this side, right? So you flip it over this way, upside down, shake it down, get it all the way around on the bead on this side. Try and make sure it's tight on the bead, because we're going to use gravity to work for us. Now, put it over on this end now. What you want to do is hold it up so the gravity's pushing against the other side of the bead, and put your air in. Hang on, let me get my air set up and I'll show you. Okay, so this one seems like it's going to air right up. If you have a problem with that, pull the tire onto one side of the bead, on the side with the valve core on it. Pull the tire up onto the bead all the way around, so it's kind of stuck on it. Okay, and then if you put the tire up on something to where it's lifted up like this, while you're airing it, gravity will hold this side of the bead against, so that you can air it up. But I think this one's going to be fine without anything. Let's just give it a shot, see. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes lube helps, sometimes it fights against you. So you can take a little bit of soapy water and put it around your bead to make it slide on. Sometimes that helps. But sometimes what happens is it wants to slide right back off while you're trying to air it when you're doing it by hand. So, I mean, this is how they did tires. You know, you ever seen those old cars, you know, in Model A's and Model T's and whatever? They had a spare tire on the back. They didn't have a spare rim, they had a spare tire. And that's how they used to do them back in the old days. So we're pretty much aired up. I mean, it needs a little more air. I got to get my gauge on there, but that's pretty much all there is. And of course, I did scratch the wheel. No big deal. I'll just touch it up. Not even worried about it. So that's pretty much how you can do it yourself. But if you start with the rim upside down, you won't scratch your wheel. Okay, I'll talk to you in the next video.